What's up and welcome back to Nighttime Builder. Here we are back with the Jeep again. I know it seems like all the time. But we're starting the wiring process. Last video we got the bed liner done. All on the inside here. Got the rear seat completely mounted up and ready to go. We was gonna do the front seats, but towards the end of the video, I was like, that wiring will be a whole lot, I ain't gonna say easier, but a whole lot more easier to not lose my mind if I have a little room to lay on my back and actually look at some things. And the seats in there, that ain't happening. So, we're gonna start with the wiring as per the paperwork, which we didn't do it on the church truck when we wired it up, but it claims it wants you to start at the back. So I guess we're gonna take the wires that go to the back. Luckily it's the smallest amount. Wrap them up in electrical tape all the way down through there, run them along the frame rail, zip tie them up where we can, get them to the back. I may or may not have to lengthen some because this kit is technically supposed to go inside the vehicle under the carpet. You see we ain't got no carpet, okay? So I might have to lengthen the wires a little bit when I get towards the back. But really she's still kind of short, so maybe I don't have to. And also, she ain't got no tail lights, so I'll probably have to mount some tail lights also. Well, I mean, I will have to. We get that far. We better get that far. This video ain't coming out, right? So, I guess let's check her out and see what we gotta do. Oh, by the way, thanks for clicking on the video. Why don't you click that like button too? Appreciate it. All right, so all this right here, I can get her untangled, is not what we want right now. I'm gonna just drape that over the front. Make sure this is my, where we go right here. Okay. Apparently this is all the wires that goes to the rear. Let's double check. Oh, I got it. All right, right here, got my little grommet in there. We used the factory one for these other wires, but that hole right there, I don't remember what actually came through that originally, but luckily the grommet that came with the kit fit the hole, so we're good there. I taped my wires up all the way down until right before we got to some of the shortest ones. Now I'm gonna start running this up under and zip tying it up and everything up out of the way until we get to where we have untaped wires and see where we need to start going, or if I need to go ahead and start extending those wires to get to where they need to go. All right, so we got our wires going in right there inside the frame. They come down, they're popping back up right here and going over some mess. But I have come to the end of a lot of them. That pink one is from a fuel gauge, so it needs to go to the fuel sender. And then I have, well, these other two need to be extended to go on back. And these two will make it further, but I don't know if they'll make it all the way. But I think I'm about to have to drop my tank. That way I can get to the top of it on my fuel sender and try to figure out what I need to do from there. All right, so here I am, finally got that tank dropped on this thing. There ain't a wire one coming from this mode. And this right here, it's hard to see, but
in the past, it like somebody has gooped this whole top right here up with something. I'd say because they messed something up. That's like silicone or I don't know, something. That's ridiculous. There's a vent right back there, but that's all that is. There's no wires. And then obviously the filler tube. This is the line going to the carburetor. But I mean, there's no wires at all. So how am I supposed to have a daggum fuel gauge? So I'm about to look up and see if I can get a fuel sending unit for this. And I guess we'll just be leaving the daggum tank dangling like this for now.
Alright, so apparently today the Jeep chose violence. And it's really breaking my heart right now. But whoever had it before straight up screwed up. I guess that was too cheap to buy a fuel sending unit or whatever and replace it, so they just siliconed the whole top of I don't know. Whatever. I just looked for a few minutes trying to find some parts. It doesn't look like they're just like readily available, so I'll have to figure something out. But until then, I'm gonna move on to these tail lights, lengthen some wires, get that back here. That way, hopefully before nap time's over, I can actually feel like I've done something, because right now I feel like I got kicked in the face. So let's lengthen some wires. All right, I got these, what is it? These two wires here extended. Obviously the wire color's changed. I wrote them down in the back of my little workbook there. That way I knew what they went to once they got to the back. This pink one is for the fuel sender level, whatever gauge, fuel gauge. So I'm gonna leave it kicked out there. Start wrapping the rest of these up and work their way on to the back. Getting them up out of the way and all that fun stuff. All right, so here's my tail lights. I went to put them together, but unfortunately you gotta have them apart so you can mount the daggum thing. See the 3 holes there? I held them up where I wanted it to. And from the inside here, I shot a little black paint just so I can mark my holes. So, you know, hopefully it'll work. All right, got them mounted up. They are not wired up, but the kids are up from the nap. So, looks like I'm going in. And try to look up and see if I can find, oh man. And try to look up and see if I can find a fuel sending unit for my gas tank here. Because, you know, I would like to know how much fuel I got. So, hopefully I can make my butt come out here in the morning. Finish wiring the rear up. And then go up, start working on something else. Wiring. Love it. Not really, but it's satisfying when everything works when you're done. So, you know. We'll catch y'all tomorrow. Alright, so here we are. See what I was talking about? They got that thing gooped up, man. It's horrible. It's some kind of silicone or something. And there's where, that's why. Them 2 holes there, that's where the leads or whatever from the fuel sender is supposed to come through. Hey, there might be pieces in the bottom of the tank for all I know. Let me get that ring off there. All right. Got it right. Look at all that. That's nasty. So she got a little bit of gas in her, but there's all kinds of stuff down in there. And also all this mess, I was trying to, I mean, you can only clean it so much without, especially when they got that much crap on it. without getting stuff down in there. So we'll end up having to drain this tank and clean it out anyways. But I've got that sending unit sitting outside. That way I can look at it and see. That way I can look at it and compare it to some others that I found, and see if we can find one to place this thing there. So I really need to take this tank outside. How am I gonna do it? All right, so here's what this thing's looking like. They had this held on here with 3 self-tappers and a whole bunch of that goop, whatever they used. So that's their little sending unit. So they had the self-tappers on there, and you can see where I've peeled off all that junk. This looks like a homemade piece. I mean, as long as at some point it worked for them, I don't completely hate it, but why didn't they just have the original? But they might have had the problem I'm having by finding an original. But, because I'm thinking about ordering a universal one and, you know, make me a plate similar to this. Cut the size hole I need out. And basically do the same thing, but hopefully cleaner. Because I'm having a hard time finding the parts I need and all that. So I guess we'll see when I can get the part in. That's funny. All right, so after messing with that fuel tank and everything, I jumped over here and started doing some wiring. I had to separate a couple more of them, but I got this ran around, zip tied to my fender here. Come along. This will be dropped down in here. Run across, got my headlight wired up there. Still got to do it in ground, the chassis or whatever. And then I'm got these that going to the other side. I'm wrapping them up. Gonna take them down below the radiator and everything. Come back up over there and hook them up. And after I bring them over here and get this headlight pretty much wired up, I'll just I'll be calling it for the day and come back out tomorrow before night shift. I didn't get near as much done this 7 off, but as well as I wanted to, but you know, I made a little progress, so whatever, I guess. All right, so we are far from done, but I did get these side markers mounted in. I bought some little connectors from O'Reilly's yesterday. Luckily they had some in stock. So I got bulbs in them, I tested them, they're good. Like I showed you, my wires running around, got all this hooked up. All I need is my ground hooked up for my headlights there. That's the fan wire to my electric fan. Just got these wires, they're run up under here. Come down, wrapped around. Got all that hooked up. Didn't hook up my ground there. And got my wire ran out this hole here for my side marker. It is not hooked up on either side at the moment. But that right there is, I mean, that's a lot of wires out the way right there alone. And then we'll get out here tomorrow. I'll finish up them grounds, hook up these side marker lights. I did get my little, I'm gonna use these as blinkers on the front and just have these down here to be my parking lights. But after we finish that up, them wires up tomorrow, then we'll start with all of this nonsense. So I just realized I don't have a horn. I got to get a horn. So, but that's it for today. It is raining. I'm about to try to make my way to the house without getting completely soaked. So we'll catch y'all tomorrow. All right, so here we are back out here the next day. I got these
side markers that I'm using as blinkers wired up, taped up. Ran through, grounded all these grounds that I said yesterday I hadn't had grounded yet. I got them taped up, zip tied up. Got the fan here, wired up, taped up, zip tied up. Oh, that can, I really need a hole down there where I can zip tie that down there. But that's also grounded. Like I said, got that wired up. Also, so all the headlights, blinkers, parking lights, electric fan, and also, of course, the tail lights. Still waiting on that. Obviously, still waiting on the fuel cylinder, because that was kind of just yesterday when I ordered it. I'll be lucky if it comes in for this video, to be quite honest with you, because Amazon ain't been all that great here lately, okay, on the whole 2-day. That mark said like the 3rd, and today's the 27th. Heck, yesterday was 26 when I ordered it. It said the 3rd or 4th or something like that. Oh, that's like a week out, man. Dang. Anyways, moving on. Got this big old bundle coming down here. This is like coil power. Let's see here. What's this? Let's see if I can read these little bitty letters. That is choke power. That is, it says team sender. Pretty sure that's temp sender. Oil sending unit. Where you be at? Oh, alternator power. Coil positive. Ignition switch start. There's the horn that I don't have. Man, I forgot to look up a horn. Solenoid power. What was that? Oh, yeah, it's coil positive. Where you at? Where you at? Come on now. Oh, tack. And alternator exciter. Those are not terrible. Obviously, there's the choke. Will be cut off right there. Tack will be over there. Also down in yonder, because there's the distributor and all that mess. I do still have to figure out. Look at all this. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 wires on that daggum alternator. I don't even know if that alternator works, okay? Look like somebody been doing some welding right there. That looked like some of my welds, but I didn't do it. That bubble gum looking stuff. Like I said, I don't know about this alternator. I need to actually give that a good look over and see what exactly I need to use and have to use wire-wise on all that mess there. Or if we need to swap it out for a 1-wire alternator, which all the ones I've seen is not one wire. It's like a alternator power or whatever. Then you got a couple others, but that's still better than having them 6 going on over there. But yeah, we'll have to figure that out. All right, let me do a little thinking and figuring, and then we'll start wiring some of these too. All right, y'all. So try not to mind the wind outside. But so right now I've got the starter solenoid mounted to the fender, the cable from the starter up to it. This is the one that goes to the positive side of the battery. Got my fusible link here, ran around to my solenoid power wire. That is my, what is it, ignition? Yeah, ignition switch. And also, I was gonna go ahead and, I've got my choke, my electric choke there hooked up. These 2 wires right here, one of them goes to is the power for the coil. The other is my tack.
Obviously, they need to go about the same length. I went ahead and put the ends on them. I'm probably going to mount it like right here or right here. But I can't because they don't have the screw on type. And I'm at a loss for trying to hook it to this one. So I just ordered one. Be in a few days. But we got the stuff ready. And I did do a little research on what all these wires are. Apparently this already has a voltage regulator on it, so I shouldn't need my aftermarket one for this project. I'll definitely be wiring more vehicles up later, so I mean, everything I got don't run. So that's where we're at. That's where we're at the moment. Like I said, I just ordered some horns and a new coil. They won't be here for a few days. Might not even be here for this video. They don't tell. This video, we ain't starting it up anyways. We're just trying to knock some of this stuff out. So, about to try to see what we can do about wiring up that alternator. And as you can see, they're still just ran crazy. At the moment, I'm just trying to get them run to where they're supposed to be. That way we can test fit, or that way we can test it out and everything. I don't want to run them, tape them up, set them where I want them, and then end up having an issue. So I would rather just have them run connected, and then if she starts up good, does what it's supposed to do, then I can go back and trim and fit and finish. You know what I'm saying? But right now, I'm just trying to get her run where she needs to go. And like I said, I'm about to try to start looking at these alternator wires, see if I can figure that out. Do a little searching back and forth on the internet, comparing to my little book over here. So fun, kind of boring, but you know, it's got to be done. All right, so it sounds like the wind's about ready to rip my plastic, my clear plastic roofing off out yonder. But what it's looking like, it shows these two are battery, and this one is the STA or whatever. Well, over here, this is ASI. This will be going to our exciter wire, alternator exciter. The S will be coming over and hooking to this one. And then the A here will be coming over and hooking to this battery wire. Then this battery wire will be going to the alternator power. So that's what I'm gathering. It may or may not be right. We shall see. If she blows up, arcs, catches on fire, whatever, then we'll know she's wrong. But let's pray that that don't happen. All right, y'all. This Hurricane Helene here is being a real big Karen right now, okay? She's making so much racket out there, blowing my daggum roofing. I mean, I'm about ready for her to just rip the plastic off the daggum roof. That way I ain't got to listen to it no more beating and banging. Because I know I ain't going out there in the middle of this mess trying to pin it down or take it off or nothing. So she can have it if she wants it. Stop being a Karen, okay? That ain't it wrong. Just saying. That's all I'm saying. But anyways, without all the drama, here we are. I told you, don't have a horn. Need a different coil because I can't. She ain't got the little screw on. She ain't got the little nuts on that one. Okay, that way I can put my little things on there, my little ends. But other than the coil, them two wires that goes to the coil, I already got the ends on them. Other than that, and the horn that I said I ain't got, which is one wire here, and then we'd have to do a ground to it. Big deal. Other than that, all the wires under the hood are hooked up. They're not in their respective place where they're going to be, technically. You know, they're not pretty, basically. But they're all hooked up. So that's big right there. That's big. Like I said, I don't know if that stuff will be in for this video, but I got to see how much footage I got, and if it's worth it to go ahead and start on this under the dash stuff or not. Oh, in the last few minutes, here's what it is. I told you that right there was my exciter wire. There she is, the white wire. Got this right here, coming over here, hooked to there. That one to the battery cable here. There's 2 batteries. That one going to the alternator power wire. And then right down in here, see if I can zoom in. And right down there, that is coolant temp. And then that one right there is oil sending unit. Got all that hooked up, looking all right. You know, for what it is so far, it'll look a lot better, obviously, once I pin it up and all that mess, trim them down if they need to be. But major progress. We got the back, tail lights and everything. I got wires everywhere. Tail lights done up, all that's good and done. Headlights are all inside. Well, these are my blinkers. Parking lights down there. My headlights are all wired up. Blah, 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 all that jazz. We've made a lot of progress in not all that much amount of time anyways. Whew, Lord, that down there looks rough. All right, I just checked to see how much footage I had, and I got way more than anybody's ever gonna watch. So we're gonna let that be the end of this video. We got the front and the back completely done. The engine, well, headlights, tail lights completely done. All the lights on the outside of the vehicle completely done. And about 99% under the hood because I'm waiting on a coil and horns. So, then that's it. Obviously that mess takes it's gonna take about a week. Next video, we start tackling this thing. Start making that dash look a little better with some new gauges and all that jazz up in it. At some point, I still have to make a glove box inner and cover. So next video, that's what we'll be working on, is wiring up the dash and all that comes along with it. Speakers, new Bluetooth radio, gauges, all that. With that said, thank y'all for watching the Snap Time Builder. We're out.